events coming up. So I'm just getting the dates so that I can communicate this with you all clearly. One of the big things coming up down the pipe is the retreat to the Himalayan Institute. So it's a it's kind of like a staycation retreat. You don't go all that far. And that's happening Thursday, September 15th through Sunday, September 18th. Now that sounds like a long time away. This is one of those things that books up quickly. And what this is, so how many days is that? 4 days. The thing to know about this is that at the Himalayan Institute, what you'll be learning and discovering is really the history of yoga. So the Yoga Sutras, which are really like the roots of where we derive yoga philosophy and why we do what we do, you'll learn and deep dive into all of that really rich history of which yoga is derived from. Lisa will be there teaching you. You'll be eating amazing food. You'll be doing pranayama, which is breathing exercises. We'll do a little bit of that today. And then you'll get to discover how does all of the history of yoga weave into the style of yoga that we do, which is much more modern, but still deeply rooted in Yoga Sutras and where yoga comes from. So it's a really cool opportunity to discover the depth of the practice that it is that you're about to do right now. So check that out. If you have questions, always feel free. Let's go ahead and get started, and we'll do that in child's pose. Okay. And like that, we're started. Bring your big toes together. Open your knees up wide enough that your torso can settle down towards the mat a bit. Rest your head, relax your shoulders. And then take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and a sigh out through your mouth. After that 3rd exhale, press your hands down and forward and stretch your hips back towards your heels. So create some more length from your baby fingers up through your arms, your outer armpits, back through your waist, your hip creases. And now as you breathe, develop your breath as smooth, even exhale, even inhale, and rhythmic. So the thing to know about pranayama, the specific way of breathing, is that it's not our default natural way of breathing. You are on purpose creating your breath with your inhales and your exhales being even. Take 1 more breath in. Blow all the air out. And then lift your body up to downward facing dog. Down dog is an upside down letter V shape. And settle into your hands, settle into your feet. Drop your head down, let your head and neck be heavy. And wherever your eyes land, set your eyes to that point. We call that a drishti. Good. Now press all 10 fingertips deep down into the mat. And again, stretch your hips up and away from your hands. So you'll open up the length to the sides of your body. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Bend your knees more. Cool. And then send your hips back like that. Take 1 more breath in. Blow all the air out. Look forward and step to the top of your mat. With the inhale, lift halfway up. Press your seat back and the top of your head forward. And then exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees considerably. And you'll bend your knees until your ribs make contact with the top of your thighs. And as you rest your upper body on the top of your legs, drop your head all the way down. You might nod your head yes, shake your head no. Let the weight of the day go right out through the top of your head. And then press down through the center of each heel, ground. And on the inhale, rise all the way up to stand. You can unhinge or roll. Reach your ups up. Take a big breath in, stretch, and exhale your hands to heart center. Set your eyes to a point. Set an intention for the next hour on your mat. And we'll begin with 3 ohms. Breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Inhale, now lift halfway up. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now here's your last one. Breathe in. Wait to get all the air out. And then move your feet up to your hands. With the inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, rise up. Extended mountain pose, stretch. Exhale, fold. Halfway, lift up. Breathe in. Exhale, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Yeah, really good. 2 more. Open your fingers up. Open your toes up. Take 1 more breath in. Open your lungs up. Blow all the air out. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Press down deep to your feet. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Reorganize your breathing. Last breath in. Empty completely. Step or float, feet to your hands. Half lifts. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift up. Keep your eyes open and set. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now keep your eyes open and look at 1 point. So especially when you start moving and it starts to feel good, it's tempting to close our eyes and like savor it. Keep your eyes open and stay present even as your body starts to open inside the poses. Take a full breath in. Blow all the air out. Step or float forward. Halfway lift up and fold. Extended mountain pose. Open your eyes. See a point. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. See a point on the floor in front of you. Low push up, take it back. And you look at 1 point. Upward facing dog, look at 1 point. Downward facing dog, look at 1 point. 2 breaths, 1 more Sun. 1 more breath in. Blow all the air out, look forward. Jump, feet to your hands. Half lifts. Fold. Extended mountain pose, reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift, press your seat back. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Could be time for a sigh. Could also be time to take your feet further back. So as your body opens up, your base should open up. Last breath in. Blow all the air out. Feet to your hands, move up. Lift halfway and fold. Chair pose. Sit your hips way back. Reach your arms up. Forward fold. Halfway lift up. Bend your knees a little bit. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot to your right thumb. Warrior 1. So back heel spins down. Reach your arms up. Low push up. Good. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Step your left foot to your thumb. Warrior 1. Rise. Hands to the floor. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in and a sigh. 2 more breaths. So the sighs really help to organize and smooth out your breathing. Last breath in. Empty fully. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift up. Bend your knees. and fold. Keep your knees a little bit bent. Now chair pose, bend a lot. Sit way back, reach up. Keep your knees a little bent. Fold. Lift halfway up. So you have a long spine. Low push up. Take it back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot to your right thumb. Warrior one. Press down. Reach up. Low push up. Upward facing. Down dog. Left side. Warrior one. Up through your waist, your armpits, your elbows stretch. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. 2 more. Last breath in. Blow all the air out. Feet to your hands. Half lifts. Fold. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Forward fold. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot warrior one. Step. Reach all the way up. Hands to the floor. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Now left side warrior one. Get this stretch all the way up through your fingertips to your edges. Hands to the floor. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Down dog. Take a breath in and blow all the air out. Really good. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Right leg high. Now listen close. You'll lift your standing heel up away from the floor like a ballerina. So your bottom foot's kind of got that shape to it. With your bottom heel up, bend both knees a couple degrees. Really good. With your knees a little bent, square your hips to the floor. So it's as though you've got there your downward facing dog hips. Hips don't change at all. Now as you keep your hips level, spin your lifted inner thigh in and up towards the ceiling, like that. The tendency will be to drop your right hip. Keep your right hip up and level, like your down dog pelvis. As you turn, your right inner thigh up towards the sky. You might start to feel like your inner thigh light up. You might feel your hamstring start to light up, like your right butt cheek starts to light up. Keep your pelvis neutral. Can you lift your right thigh higher? Yeah, now breathe right there. So Amy, drop your right hip. Yep. And now come from here. That's internal rotation. Yeah. Now can you take just your thigh higher, but not your head? Yes. Last step. If you're like, okay, give me more. Can you kick your top heel back to the back of the room? Yeah. Drive your hands down and forward. Kick your top heel up. Take a big breath in. Now step to your right thumb, crescent lunge. Oh, right. Reach up, crescent lunge. Now you're feeling something, right? Like that front leg, there's some vitality, right? There's some vitality. Lift your back heel up high on the ball of your back foot. So your back knee will bend. That's perfect. Keep your pelvis neutral. Now as you press your feet down, stretch up to the sides of your body and open your fingers up. So you can even go wide. Yeah, go wide with your arms. If that feels like you can get more length up through your fingertips, take a full breath in, hands to heart center, hinge forward, and twist to the right side, crescent twist. Good. Set your eyes to a point. You can open your arms, bottom hand to the floor, inside or outside your front foot, or you can keep your hands at heart center. 2 more breaths. Press back through your back heel and stretch forward through your bottom shoulder. Breath in, blow all the air out. Inhale up through the crescent lunge and open to warrior 2. Warrior 2. So feet on a tightrope. So you can see like my mat I have up front. I was going to see if anyone else has this kind of mat. They don't. That's okay. You'll see there's that line down the middle of the mat. You'll set your feet up that your front heel on the line hits back through the arch of your back foot. So it's like a tightrope. Then bend your front knee. Good. Press your back foot deep down into the floor. Squeeze your back leg muscles to the bone. Now stretch your front inner knee forward as you drive your back foot down. Breathe. Good. Take a big breath in. You'll stay. Can you stretch your front inner knee a little more forward? Keep pressing your back foot down. If your knee passes your toes, go longer with your stance. You might have to open your base up. As you discover like just how much room you can take up, sometimes you have to open the foundation up more. Good. Take one more breath in. Extended side angle. Right forearm to thigh, right fingertips to floor. Use your bottom arm to guide your front inner knee forward as you hug your bottom outer hip back. And you could half or full bind to do that. So if you're taking the bind, go right back where you were. You had everything. Put this hand here. Now, with this hand, hug back, and with this hand, draw forward. Yeah. You could full bind. You would do the same action if you go for the full bind. Good. You got it. Right there. 2 more breaths. Now you'll keep guiding this forward and this back. Press your front big toe mound down. Take one more full breath in, widen through your chest, and then 2 hands to the floor, low push up. Really good. Flow, upward facing dog. Press your hips back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Open your mouth and let it go. Good. Inhale your left leg up and back. So this is a part of our body that in yoga, we stretch a lot. We do a lot to kind of open the hamstrings up. And there is a lot of value in strengthening this area first. You actually get usually a lot more opening if you do that. Lift your standing heel up. Bend both knees. Now, square your pelvis to the floor like your down dog pelvis. You'll keep that. With that set, use your lifted inner thigh to take your lifted thigh up higher. So you'll internally rotate that leg as you press your left hamstring to the sky. Cool. Yeah. Now breathe. If your left hip is dropping, lift your left hip back up low with the right. That's it. They keep this part rolling up. Good. A little extra credit now. Press your back heel towards the back of the room, that top heel. So push this to the partition at the back. Drive your hands down, fingertips to the floor. Stretch all the way up and back through your lifted heel. Breathe in. Now step to your left thumb, crescent lunge. Good. Reach your arms up. Back heel high. Soften your back knee. Pelvis neutral. Breathe. So right about now you're breathing, like smooth, even, deep, probably escaped for a moment. Bring back your intentional breath. Take one more breath in, reach all the way up to your fingertips, hands to heart, tip forward, and twist to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, inflate the back of your lungs, especially here. Last breath in. Stay for the full exhale. 5, inhale, reach up, crescent lunge, and open up to warrior 2. Take a long stance. So some of you discovered just how much stance you can take. Take that stance now. Don't wait. Go a little bit longer. Longer. Yeah. Now press your back foot into the floor. All 5 toes on the back foot point to the right long side of your mat. Press your foot down and stretch your front inner knee forward towards the front of your mat. You could even go longer. So as your knee surpasses your toes, keep opening up your stance. Yeah, really good. Now take a breath in. Lift your spine up out of your pelvis. Tilt, extended side angle. Left forearm to your left thigh. Good. Continue to stretch your front inner knee towards the front of the room by driving your back heel down. Hug your left outer hip back. So it's like that. That's it right there. Now breathe. Yeah, it's like a whole new thing, right? That little bit of movement wakes something up. Take one more breath in. 2 hands to the floor, low push up. Good. Feel the space in your hips as you move through upward facing dog. Press it back, downward facing dog. I see Steph smiling. I know that like you got some space now when there was a big smile. Take a breath in, blow it out, look forward, step or float feet up to your hands. Lift halfway up, get along through your spine, and fold. Chair pose. Set your feet parallel, set your hips back, reach up, Hands to heart center, hinge, and twist to the right side. Good. Take 5 breaths. You can open your arms, half bind, full bind. I can see Tina's taking the full bind into bird of paradise. Nice. 3 more breaths. Wherever you're at, focus on leveling your pelvis. So if it's chair, both sitting bones evenly back. If it's bird, both hips at the same height. Good, Bob. Take 1 more breath in. Blow all the air out. Chair pose, reach up, and fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Open your feet up, catch your big toes with your first 2 fingers. Bend your knees a lot. Yeah, bend your knees. Let your upper body drape down over the top of your thighs. Reorganize your breath. Recommit to your drishti. Take 1 more breath in. Blow all the air out. Release your toes. Sit your hips back. Chair pose. Twist to the left side. Now, however you're setting up, set your hips level. So both sitting bones press back. If you're headed to bird, bind, and as you come up, soften your right hip down so that both hips are level versus that hip lifting up. Create the neutral pelvis. And then 3 more breaths. 2 more. 1 more breath in. Get long through your spine. And then release. Chair pose. Inhale, reach up. And fold gorilla pose. Slide your hands under the soles of your feet. Option to take your feet wider. Option to bend your knees even more. Yeah. Be generous in your knee bend. There's something about yoga that we tend to get really stingy with our knee bends. I don't know why that is. Be generous with your knee bend. Yeah. Allow for your spine to relax. Breath in. Breath all the way out. Step off your hands. Bring your feet back under your hips. Press down with your feet. Inhale, come rolling up to stand. Extended mountain pose, reach up. On the exhale, catch your hips. Bring your feet together and pause. So you'll pause right here. Cool. With the inhale, you're going to take your right foot out to the side, but keep your hips level. So it'll be a little bit like a challenge for you. Most of us will kind of do this tilt thing. Keep your hips level and lift it out to the side. Now keep your leg up. Inhale, pulse higher. Exhale, pulse down. Inhale, pulse higher. Exhale, pulse down. Do that 2 more times. Now next one, up and hold it. Up and hold it. Flex your lifted foot. Turn all 5 toes to point to the front. Take 1 more breath in, and then wrap your right leg eagle. Squeeze your legs together, sit down deep. Wrap your right arm under eagle arms. Now breathe. Good. As you squeeze your legs tight, lift the front of your pelvis up towards your navel. Create some space in your hip joints. Breath in. Breath out. Step down, reach up. Take a fresh breath in. And then catch your hips. So you'll mark this moment. The way your pelvis is, you're staying as close to this as possible. Now inhale, take your left leg out to the side. So it may not be very high. That's okay. Inhale, lift a little bit higher, and then go back down. Inhale a little higher. Exhale, go back down. Do that 2 more times. Last time, up and hold it for 4 breaths. Now turn your left toes, that's it, towards the front. Take 1 more breath in, and then wrap your left leg, eagle legs. Squeeze your legs together. Wrap your left arm under, squeeze your arms together. Now squat deep. A lot of regulars in here, even a lot of teachers in here. I know you have like the depth you're used to. Squat deeper. So see what it takes. Squeeze your legs tighter, lift the front of your pelvis more to take the slightly deeper seat. Look at Bob go. Take 1 more breath and then step down. Reach all the way up, big breath in. On the exhale, catch your hips. Keep your hips like this. Lift your right knee up, standing single leg raise. So the idea is your hip points stay parallel to the floor. Breathe. Right, because that breath is easy in child's pose. It starts to become skill work at this point in the practice. Bring in that skill of even breathing. Keep your pelvis like this. Can you take your leg higher? So not your hip, but just your leg. Drop your right hip point down. Keep your right thigh up. Now, one more time, can you take your leg, just the leg higher? So I'm feeling my hip flexors. I'm feeling my abdominal muscles. I'm feeling that quad starting to work. Can you keep the height and take your leg out to the side? Keep your hip point straight ahead. 1, breathe. 2, 3, 4. Can you go a little bit wider? 5 and 6. Come back to center. Hug your knee up. Airplane pose. Send your right leg back. Bring in the skill that we played with in your 3-legged downward facing dog. Spin your back inner thigh up towards the ceiling. That's it, Raquel. Now press your lifted thigh up towards the ceiling. Kick your lifted heel back towards the wall behind you and stretch your chest towards the front. Keep all that length. Bring your hands to heart center. Left hand down, right arm high. Half moon. So bottom hand might go to a block, might go to the floor, might hover. When you really tap into that hip strength, you'll find that you have this capacity to hover in the pose and not need the additional foundation under your bottom hand. Take one more breath to stretch out, and then 2 feet to the floor and fold. Fold. Give everything a moment to relax. Your back, the back of your legs, your butt muscles. Get a breath in and a breath out. And then inhale, come rolling up to stand. Catch your hips, and we'll hit the left side. So left thigh lifts. Keep your hips square as possible. Good. Now hips stay. Can you lift your left thigh a little bit higher? Now breathe right there. Breathe. Let yourself sort through the sensation that you feel. And then can you lift your leg a little bit higher? Breathe to sort through that. Now keep the height. Take your leg out to the left. 5 breaths. Keep turning your left hip point to face forward. I know I have to press my standing big toe mound down to get that. So work the foot on the floor to steer your left hip forward. Last breath in. Now come back to center. Hug your left knee up into your chest. Airplane pose, kick it back. Good. Ignite your lifted leg by turning the back inner thigh up. And you'll turn all the way up at the top of your thigh. Press back, reach forward, breathe in. Hands to heart center. Half moon. Left hip over your right. Take 5 breaths. 4 more. Press your standing big toe mound down and zip the pit of your belly in and up. Gather up. Good, Bridget. Last breath in. Stretch all the way out. 2 feet to the floor and fold. Soften everything. Get a breath in, a breath out. If you're using a strap for dancer pose, grab it. On the inhale, come rolling all the way out. Reach up. Standing dancer pose or standing bow on the right side. Bend, pause to center your pelvis. Lift the front of your pelvis up to your belly button. Then kick your right shin back. So you're carrying the skill from airplane forward. Your back inner thigh turns up towards the ceiling. That's it. Your right hip eases down to be close to level with your left hip. Now kick back, reach forward, take a full breath in, and step out. 2 feet to the floor, hands to your hips, catch your breath. And then set up the left side. Bend and catch. So the default here is that the knee tends to kind of flare out and our hip tends to go up. So instead, spin your inner thigh up and let your left hip drop down. Then kick back and reach forward. You may find it's creating a lot more space in your low back. Good. 2 more breaths. Take sighs as you need them. 1 more breath in, kick and reach, and then step down 2 feet to the floor. Really good. We're going to do 1 more set. Catch your breath first. And then dancer pose right side. Catch. Set it up. And go. You're ready right now. You may not be ready for what you think you should be doing, but you're ready to show up in the pose as it shows up right now. Now, can you breathe more? Soften your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Take 1 more big breath in, kick, and then step out. Left side dancer pose. Get a breath in between. And then catch left side. Ready, set, and go. Two more breaths. Keep reaching out to the edge. 1 more breath, stretch all the way out to the edge of your skin, and then step all the way out. Hands to your hips, breath in, breath out. Tree pose, right foot, left thigh, hands to heart center. Press your foot and thigh together, press your palms together, press the pit of your belly in and up towards your chest. Now reach up. Root down through your standing heel, lift up through the pelvis to the crown, and stretch out through every single one of your fingertips. Big breath in, and then step all the way down and change sides. Left foot to your right inner thigh. And you can either go all the way up to the thigh. If that's too much, come down to your calf. The one spot not to be at is your knee, just because the joint doesn't love that. So go up or go down. Perfect. And now press them together. So whether it's your shin or your thigh, press into your foot. So everything kind of zips in towards the center line of your body. Yeah. Now hug your palms into the center line of your body. Hug the pit of your belly button in towards the center line of your body. Now reach up. Deep breaths. From the center, expand all the way out to your edges. The edge of your toes, the edge of your fingertips, the edge of your scalp. Take a full breath in, and then step down. 2 feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift up. Low push-up, step or float back. Upward facing dog. Press back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands. Triangle pose. Left arm up to the sky. Straighten your front leg. Stretch your top arm up, all 5 fingers. And then hug your right outer hip back as you press your front big toe mound down. Deep breaths. So as you organize your feet into the floor, hug the pit of your belly up and in towards your chin. Then you have access to leaning back through your upper body. And so really begin to relax your top shoulder back, maybe your head and your neck and throat back. Take 1 more breath in, blow all the air out. Inhale, come up to stand. Catch your hips. Turn to the front of your mat for pyramid pose. Pyramid pose. You'll face the front of your mat. Face the front. So pyramid is warrior 1 feet, but a little bit shorter. Catch your hips and turn your hip points to face all the way forward. Good. Now, angle your elbows back. Inhale, lift your chest up. As you exhale, sink your hip creases back behind you and stretch the top of your head in front of you. If you get to a point where it feels like you begin to round your back, bend your knee more, your front knee more. Yeah. Press your front big toe mound down, organize and really root the front big toe mound. And without bending or without straightening your front knee, keep that bend, draw your right outer hip back. Yeah, like that. You feel a little bit more opening up. Now breathe right there. You're looking for something interesting to happen, maybe up through the back of your leg, maybe through your bum, your low back. Take a breath in, drop your hands to the floor, add the twist. Left hand down, right arm high. Can also be interesting to take your top thumb and wedge it into your right hip crease and use that to draw your right hip crease back. Straighten your back leg. Yeah. So back heel up is great. That's perfect. Keep working your right outer hip back, the top of your head forward. Take a full breath in, blow all the air out. Twist, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Take it back. Breath in, breath out. Step your left foot forward, triangle pose. Ground down through your feet. Soften your front hip crease so it's deep and set back. And now begin to relax your upper shoulder back behind you. 3 more breaths. If you feel like you're collapsing at all, pull the pit of your belly up and into support. Open your throat, open your face up, blow all the air out. And then inhale, rise up. Turn to the front of the mat. Set up for pyramid pose. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your heart. And on the exhale, fold forward. Soften your front knee as much as you need to organize your left hip back behind you. Raquel, bend your knee more. Yeah. Go a little bit longer with your stance. Yeah. Good. Keep moving the crease underneath your glute back behind you. That's it. Now take a breath in. Keep your pelvis right where it's at. Drop your right hand down. Reach your left hand high. Option to stick your left thumb in your left hip crease and drag your left hip back. 3 more breaths. You'll explore the twist. As your hips go back, press the top of your head forward, create space through your spine. Then exhale, play with twisting. That's it. Inhale, create space. Exhale, twist. One more time, create space, pit of the belly up. Exhale, twist. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog, step back. Take a big breath in. Blow all the air out. Slide out, high plank. Lower it all the way down to the floor. Locust pose. Stretch your arms back. Spider tip your fingers, point them to the back of the room. And as you press your fingers down, press your pelvis down, inhale your chest forward and up. Use the press of your fingertips to move your shoulders up onto your upper back. That's it. I'll breathe right there. So I can feel my whole upper back warming up. I can feel my mid back warming up. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath, reach your chest forward, and then lower it down, right ear to the mat. Breath in. You can wag your tail side to side as you breathe out. Kind of feels good. And then locust pose, set it up. And then inhale, lift up. Option this time to lift your legs up and back. So it's that same inner thigh spiraling up that we've been exploring through that class. So really spin your inner thighs up to the sky. Widen through the back of your pelvis. Take a breath in and lower it all the way down, left ear to the mat. Wag your tail as you breathe in and breathe out. Next up is floor bow. Bend your knees, reach back, catch the top of your ankles. Bring your knees into hip width distance apart or closer. So really gather your knees in tight. Then inhale, kick your shin bones back. Good. Kick your shin straight back and lean your heart forward off the strength of your legs. So how passive can your arms get? How passive can your shoulders get? How passive can your chest get? Your head could even drop to really tap into your upper body relaxing. Take a breath in and release it all the way down. Good. Windshield, wipe your legs, catch your breath. And then second set, floor bow, catch, kick, relax through your upper body. Three more breaths. What more can you peel away in your shoulders and in your arms? What could you let go of where you would have a new opening? Breath in, lower it all the way down. Big inhale, blow all the air out, exhale. Plant your hands beside your lowest rib. Inhale, upward facing dog, press up. Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Breath in, blow it out, look forward, and then step or float to a seat. Lie onto your back, bridge pose. Plant your feet, lift your hips. Good. Feet parallel with each other. So see if you have, at this point in the practice, you begin to lose sight of your limbs. You'll notice as the poses happen, you go from seeing your hands and seeing your feet and seeing your body parts to seeing less and less of yourself. And what you have left to get in touch with yourself with is your felt sense. And so feel and sense your feet as parallel to each other. Trust what you sense. And then sense the right height in your hips that you have enough space through your low back. Now breathe right there. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in and lower it all the way down to the floor. We're going to do 4 more back bends. You can continue with bridge or we'll move it to wheel. If you're going to wheel, set your hands deep and wide underneath your shoulders. And on the inhale, press up. Could be the top of your head. Could be all the way up off the floor for 1. And now breathe. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tuck your chin, come down. Breath in. Open your mouth, clear it out. Set up again, bridge your wheel, and go. 5 breaths. Use your breath and the pose to stretch all the way out into the boundary of your skin. Can you get every part of your body to lengthen and open, and then tuck your chin and come down. Breath in. Open your mouth, let it go. Before you have time to think, set your hands, bridge your wheel, and go right back up again. 5 breaths. Some of you are lifting your legs up. That's great. And so that might be the new edge. Stretching a leg up off the floor, stretching an arm up off the floor. Get a full breath in. Tuck your chin, come all the way down. We got one more chance to open up. Clear it. Set it up. Set the foundation and go. Go. I often find this is the pose that I resist, but this is the one I'm the most glad that I've done when I do it. Breathe. One more big inhale. Tuck your chin, come down, Supta Baddha Konasana. See if you can get still. Feet together, knees wide. Rest your hands in one spot. Open your eyes, set your eyes to one spot. And just feel, just feel. It can be when intense feelings arise, like physical or otherwise, there is that temptation to move and wiggle and kind of move away from them. But see if you can get still. Get still and just feel. Feel your heart, feel your breath, feel your body, feel your muscles. Without anything to change or fix. It's totally perfect the way that it is. Beautiful. Now take your hands to the outsides of your knees. Gather your knees into center. Dead bug pose. With your knees wide, reach up, catch the baby toe side of each foot. And with your hands, pull your feet down. And with your feet, press up into your hands. Use that to create your spine as long and wide on the mat. Some of you are rocking side to side. That's good. If it feels good to rock, go for it. If your intuition is telling you to rock, go with it. If your intuition is telling you to stay still, go with that. Good. Release your feet now. Stretch your legs up towards the ceiling and create a diamond shape with your hands under your butt. Okay. Now pause to set your feet directly over your pelvis. Some of you will need to bend your knee, some of you won't, but you'll know you're there because the back of your pelvis will ground either into your hands or into the floor. Come a little more forward like that. You'll feel your abs kick on too. Yeah. Take a breath in right there. Now exhale, lower your right foot to hover. Pause. In the pause, check your pelvis. Is your left butt cheek and your right butt cheek even? So if one hip is rolling down more than the other, adjust your right leg height so that your hips are stable. Good. Now you've got that. Take a breath in. Exhale, switch sides. Check it out on this side. So notice how this sensation will interrupt your ability to get curious. You'll be like, I just want to be done. I don't want to check out what my hips are doing. Can you breathe to manage that? And even as it's intense, can you sort through the intensity to feel the stability in your pelvis? Take a breath in. Now switch your legs. Take a breath in. Exhale, switch your legs. Breath in. Exhale, switch. Breath in. Exhale, switch. Now you're going to go side to side on your own. Side to side. Now as you move your legs, focus on your pelvis staying level and stable. If that's happening pretty easy for you, go faster. So I want you to explore the edge where you start to lose stability, but you can just kind of keep your pelvis stable. You're like barely hanging on. 15 seconds. 10. 5. Can you pick it up more? 4. 3. Just explore. 2. And 1. Legs go up. Hug your knees into your chest. Good. Big breath in. Big breath out. Catch behind your thighs. Rock and roll forward and back 3 times. And on the third one, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We'll do one more little core exercise and we'll start to wind down. From your downward facing dog, high plank. High plank position, take your feet off the sides of your mat, so feet super wide. Now bring your thumbs together to touch. Keep that. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists so that your shoulders are pitched forward. Take a breath in. Bring your right hand to your left shoulder. Pause, 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 pause. So touch and pause. If it's too much, drop your knees. You'll do the same thing, but keep your hand on your shoulder. Keep it, keep it, keep it, keep it. Right? Because we're like, oh, it's too much sensation. I want to stay. Keep it. So just that one side. Now listen, if it's too much, drop your knees. Some of you are like, oh, I can't do this. You could drop your knees and be here. Yes. Now, level pelvis. So if you're here, that's not quite it. Can you keep your pelvis level? Okay. Now switch. Can you do it with your pelvis staying level? Oh, baby. Switch. Can you do it with your pelvis staying level? Switch. 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 Now, can you go fast, but keep your pelvis level? Good. 10, 9, 8, Bob, shoulders forward. 7, shoulders forward. 6, that's it. 5, 4, really good. 3, stay with it. 2, downward facing dog on 1. Oh, breath in, big breath out, half pigeon on the right side. Oh, not a moment too soon. Oh. Kind of put in all of the skills that you developed, even just in this one practice, where you tuck your back toes under and use that to spin your back inner thigh, that's it, up towards the ceiling. Now, if your right hip is up off the floor, is this got a top to it? You can even pop that under your hip And now you've got something to kind of sit on. So a block or a water bottle under your hip for support. All right, I'm going to scoot your leg up a little bit higher. So here, yep. Now sit evenly back. So rather than letting this leg slide back, see if you can even sit a little more through your right hip. Right. Without losing your pelvis. Yeah. So it's here, and you'll sit back into this spot. Yes. Do you feel like that's usually the tight spot? Good. I'm going to move your leg up a little bit. So here, yep. Tuck your toe so your leg stays. Now, as you let your hips kind of sit back, they go this, that's it. Do you feel how there's usually like a tightness spot in there? Good. After a couple breaths, if you feel like you've got the space to do it, stretch your arms forward. Kind of like your child's pose. Can you press your hands down and forward and use that to send your right sitting bone further back? And even kind of work into the opening a little bit more. I'm going to scoot your leg a little bit, Brickell. So this one comes up. Now keep that and send your weight back through here. Yes. Does that feel different? Yeah. You can even roll this down a little bit. Take a breath in. Blow all the air out. Plant your hands, downward dog, take it back. Left side half pigeon. You got it. Resist the temptation to slide your right leg all the way back. It tends to take your hips cattywampus. So you've done all this amazing work to really build stability and integration through your pelvis. Keep it here even as you build into a new opening in your hip. So that internal rotation even here. Yeah. I'm going to move your leg up a little bit higher. I think that's going to help. So you're up here. Now tuck your back toes to keep you here. Is this okay on your knee? You can do a towel. If it's not, let's try that. Okay. Now. Deep, deep breaths. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Relax from your periphery, and then work that opening, that relaxation from the periphery in towards your center. You might be ready to stretch your arms forward. You may not be. But if you are, press your hands down and forward and reach your left sitting bone back towards the back edge of your mat. Nice, Bridget. Big, big breath in. Blow all the air out. And then press up to your hands. Swing your right leg forward. Lie onto your back. Keep your left leg long. Hug your right knee up towards your right shoulder. Now with your knee hugged up, set up that your left and right pelvis, right and left butt cheek are both evenly on the floor. So I have to pull my leg more into center to have that. My default position is my leg kind of flops out to the side. So set that. Then catch the back of your right thigh. Keep your thigh exactly where it is. And with the inhale, kick your right heel up towards the ceiling. So you're kicking to straighten through your knee as much as you can. Press up through your heel. Pull your toes down towards your shin. And then take deep breaths. So I can feel this all the way up through my sitting bone, the back of my leg, the back of my knee, the back of my calf, even up through the sole of my lifted foot. Take deep breaths. One more breath in. See if you can kick your heel a little bit higher, and then bend your knee. Hug your right knee to your right shoulder, and then switch sides. Left knee up to your left shoulder, right leg long. Balance the weight across your two bum cheeks. Then catch the back of your left thigh. Kick your left heel towards the ceiling. Use your breath as a tool to sort through the sensation as your body releases. Some of you, your leg might start dancing. Can you breathe and just sort through the experience of your leg having to dance? Take one more breath in, kick a little higher, and then exhale, hug your knee into your chest. Beautiful. Stretch both legs up towards the ceiling and then over your head towards the floor behind you for plow. Option to take waterfall, a block under your butt, legs straight up. In plow, wedge your shoulders deeply underneath your body. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades way underneath you and working your upper arms underneath. And then stretch your legs up towards the ceiling, shoulders stand. Keep your hands at your middle back to support. So I'm going to give you a little assist here. So really squeeze, really squeeze. Yeah, like that. Good. Keep squeezing if you can. Cool. Now see if you can hold that. Bend your knees a little bit. Like that. Good. Deep breaths now. And if you're in shoulder stand, take your feet back to the floor behind your head, plow. Then bend your knees around your ears for deaf yogi. Round your spine. Allow your spine to round. Carve the pit of your belly back towards your spine. And feel for the stretch from the base of your skull up across the broad tissue of your low back, your upper back, down across the back of your pelvis. And then slowly stretch your arms down the front of your mat. Roll down one vertebra at a time. At the bottom, hug your knees to your chest. Drop your knees to the right. Tee your arms and look off to the left. Now, if you notice yourself like pushing or prodding your legs or trying to make the twist go deeper, just let your body fall into a natural twist. Let gravity kind of do it to you, for you. And then gather your knees back up through center and change sides. And just as this practice has an element of gradually making less and less of you observable to you with your eyes and really having to come into your felt sense to stay in touch with the different parts of your body, the practice also takes effort away gradually. And so in the last couple of breaths here, how much effort can you release and allow the floor to completely hold you up? And then come back to center. Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together. Knees wide. Do any wiggling or arranging of your pelvis, your body parts in order to create a comfortable relationship with the floor here. Then take a deep breath in and open your mouth. Shavasana. Straighten your legs. And in the couple moments that you're here, still quiet in the pose, there's the opportunity to walk your attention through your body, from your head down through your body to your toes. And as your attention lands on each body segment, what can you release in order to experience a new and deeper level of rest? Take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. And one more time, fill all the way up. Open your mouth, let it go. And gently hug your knees up into your chest. Roll to your favorite side. And then press up to a seat. Some of you thought there for a moment, which one is my favorite? I saw it. Bring your hands to heart center. Press down through your stable pelvis and then lift up tall and light through your spine and your crown. And then into all that beautiful space, take a big breath in. Open your mouth and clear it. And in the space that you've created and cleared, set a seed, an intention for the rest of your night. How you want to step in, how you want to show up, how you want the rest of your night to play out. You can choose it right here. And then we'll close with 3 final ohms. Inhale. Lift your thumb knuckles to the center of your forehead. Take a breath in. And together we say, Namaste. Namaste. Great job tonight, everybody. So good. If you have any questions about the Himalayan Institute coming up in September, feel free to ask. This is like my one mom moment. It's summer. It's hot. Make sure you hydrate. Hydrate, especially if you're new, especially if you're just kind of getting into this style of practice. Hydration becomes very, very important. So make sure you drink after class. Make sure you drink before your next class. Stay hydrated. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. There it goes. right?